Good morning, Nova Nation. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Morning Roar. Here is what is coming up over the next hour. The groundhog saw his shadow, meaning 6 more weeks of winter. You might ask, what winter? We discuss. To talk about the MLK Day of Service that completed its 16th year here at Villanova this past January, and events happening on campus this Black History Month, the president of the MLK Day of Service Planning Committee, Rochelle Batista, joins us at 8:30. In our Twitter poll question, as we stumble our way into the studio, we ask, how have your sleeping habits been like lately? Plus, the new hit Morning Mind Bender segment. It's me against Dom for all the marbles. And as a reminder, the Morning Roar is also being broadcasted live on WXVU's YouTube channel. Hi, everybody. I'm David Shapansky.
Good morning. I'm Dominic Ricchetti.
I'm Chris Kokinos.
And I'm Allison Bayata. I am bringing you your first Morning Roar news update of the day. So our top story, the U.S. is tracking a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that has been spotted over U.S. airspace for a couple of days. But the Pentagon decided not to shoot it down over the concerns of hurting people on the ground, officials said Thursday. The discovery of the balloon puts a further strain on U.S.-China relations at a time of heightened tensions. A senior defense official told Pentagon reporters that the U.S. has very high confidence it is a Chinese high-altitude balloon and it was flying over sensitive sites to collect information. One of the places the balloon was spotted was Montana, which is home to one of the nation's 3 nuclear missile silo fields at Malmstrom Air Force Base. It is expected to be somewhere over southeast Missouri today. And in other news, Villanova will be the host of the 2023 Opus Prize. The campus-wide event will take place throughout the coming months as the process of selecting and evaluating nominees commences, centered on the prize theme, Awakening Restless Hearts. Every year, the Opus Foundation partners with a Catholic university to honor individuals and organizations inspired by faith to advocate for positive change in the face of daunting and humanitarian challenges. On November 9th, Villanova will ultimately present finalists with a $1 million award and 2 $100,000 prizes. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Allison. And now it's time for our Groundhog Day recap. In its 137th year as a tradition in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania, yesterday, Puxatawney Phil, the groundhog, saw his shadow, foreboding 6 more weeks of winter. Here on the East Coast, while it will get mighty chilly this weekend in terms of snowfall, you would naturally be asking, what winter? Most locations from the Carolinas to Maine recorded one of their top 5 warmest Januaries, including the warmest ever in New York City and the second warmest ever here in Philly, with temperatures more typical for the month of March. The only measurable snowfall to date this winter at Philadelphia occurred Wednesday morning, and it melted about as fast as it came down. It also has been one of the cloudiest winters to date at many locations in the Northeast. What are our thoughts on this snowless winter, and has it impacted your mood in a good or bad way? For someone like our commuting ace, David, has it been a relief not to have driven in bad weather? And do you have faith in Phil's forecast? David, since you're our commuting ace, apparently.
Yeah, wow, that is so nice, Nick. Thank you so much for the commuting ace title. I'm going to use that moving forward. But to be honest, I mean, I've loved it. I think it's been very nice. It's reminded me of spring most days. But something that I've really noticed about winter, and it's good that put in there, and maybe there's scientific reason behind this, is that when it's cloudy in the winter, it's more warmer, and when it's really bright and sunny, it's colder. So like on a day like today, it's really bright and sunny, it's really colder. And that is like a thing that I've noticed. It's a trend. Okay. Has anyone else noticed that? No, probably not. Maybe
not something I pay attention to.
Okay, well, that's just something that I've noticed throughout the past couple years. So we've had more cloudy days, but it's been nicer. 50s, 60s, maybe next week. This weekend is going to be tough. Walking into the studio this morning was bad. Was bad. There was some snow on the ground. Got here early. I saw the I was here before I don't know what it's like now. Maybe you guys can talk about it, but the Villanova crew was kind of moving the snow off the sidewalks. That was the first time I've seen that this year because we haven't had any snow. So definitely interesting.
I thought we have bricks for that.
Only on Maine, though. Only that long stretch on Maine campus is heated underneath.
Yeah, I feel like that's the one thing that everybody remembers from their tour here.
Yep, definitely.
The bricks are heated.
Did we talk about in the beginning of the year how if they're like actually heated, or is it just like a persuasive tool?
I'm pretty sure they actually are heated.
Okay.
You could
well, I've never seen them, so that's why I'm saying I cannot say from personal experience.
I feel like in the past you've been able to see like the patterns of where it's heated because it's not an outstanding system. It doesn't work that great in my opinion, but
they're slippery. Like when it rains, it's very
it's extremely slippery.
I feel like I'm playing for the Flyers on a hockey rink.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
I feel like Groundhog Day is an absolute scam, and I didn't used to think this,
Yeah.
but yesterday I was like, how does he know if he sees his shadow? Like, what happens here? And in reality, it's just if it's a sunny day, he sees his shadow, and if it's a cloudy day, he doesn't.
Yeah, that's
Bingo.
the concept.
I didn't know
That's
that.
the whole point of the concept.
That's just crazy to me that the groundhog doesn't even matter. It's
No.
just it has to do if it's sunny or cloudy. But yeah, that's
The
just
groundhog
me.
makes it fun, so
I've
he
never-
matters.
I'm not a
okay?
big Punxsutawney
Yeah.
Phil guy. I
Absolutely.
think he's a fraud.
A sad addendum in Canada. A beloved Canadian groundhog, Fred Lamarte, was found dead before he could complete the tradition in Canada. Kids and adults cheerfully waited for Fred to appear at an annual event in Quebec on Thursday before event organizer Roberto Blondin announced the stubby burrower's demise. 9-year-old Fred was found dead overnight, and Blondin said he might have passed away late last year during hibernation.
That's very sad. Do you
Yeah.
guys remember when Bill de Blasio dropped the groundhog and then he died?
So I don't remember that, but I've had so many people show me that clip over the last week, and I'm like, this is hilarious.
It's so funny.
like the clip.
Not to
the
like be mean, but
no.
it's so funny. Dom is laughing so hard
I
right
have
now.
never
Look
seen
it up
that.
right now.
The groundhog looks like it jumps away from Bill
Yeah.
de Blasio. Like,
How many years ago was this?
I have no
Oh.
idea.
and then like a week later, the groundhog was dead from
Yeah.
internal injuries.
2014 it happened, so
Wow.
almost a decade ago now. Isn't that crazy?
And then I feel like all the newspapers were calling it like Groundhog Gate or something like
Probably.
that.
They
yeah.
love doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So everybody was like, Bill de Blasio killed the groundhog. Great times 10 years ago.
It was.
So, how's everyone feeling? Villanova announced new quarantining procedures for those students testing positive for COVID this spring semester. The school will no longer be providing hotel rooms to those in quarantine, meaning you'll need to stay in your dorm or place of residence, the health center, or go home. Those who stay at the health center are required to stay for 6 days and will be assigned a roommate. How are we feeling, figuratively and literally? At some point, did isolation procedures have to be relaxed? And by the same token, there are certainly a number of students out sick right now across campus, along with a large number of cases of the flu and colds. Allison, let's start with you.
I've certainly noticed in my classes there have been a good amount of absences.
Yeah.
Like teachers will be going through the roster and they'll be like, where is everybody?
Uh-huh.
So I'm feeling good. Hopefully it doesn't come to me. But I mean, I'm glad they're taking care of it, at least.
Yeah.
That's really the most you can hope for.
Yep. It definitely sounds like it's only hitting the freshmen hard right now.
Is it real? Well, those dorms that they live in, of course.
Yeah.
How could it not?
Like I was talking to a few of the Stanford RAs. Each of them have like 5 or 6 of their own residents out. So
Oh, that's right.
an insane amount of kids are getting COVID right now. And I thought we were done. I
Maybe
thought we
David
were
can
over.
speak to it.
Well, this freshman commuter ace is not dealing with the dorms, so
Yeah.
I'm okay for now, luckily. But I echo the same sentiments that Allison was saying in terms of that I have noticed a lot of people in my classes that have been absent. Some of my professors have been absent too. So I think COVID and the flu kind of equally have been going around campus. But so far, knock on wood, I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Dom.
Not really. I mean, I don't really pay attention to who's in my class and who's not. I don't really care. I'm
Dom
there.
doesn't
just
really
being
pay
honest.
attention to class.
I'm
in
there.
general.
I have perfect attendance. That's all I care about. If I'm there, then it's a good class for me.
Have you guys ever had to deal with the isolation procedures?
No,
over the
God,
last-
Thank God I have
Oh,
not.
you guys are so
not
lucky.
either.
You have.
Oh, my freshman year, I got COVID.
Oh, what did they do to
Like
you?
Was
a
that the
few days
first year?
before the Super
That had to be
Bowl.
like the first
Yeah.
year, right?
And they're like, yeah, you live too far away. We're going to put you up in a hotel. I'm like, okay, that's not that big a deal. You know,
Yeah.
they take me to the
Did
inn.
you like not leave?
Well, you can't leave. And then I walk in. They're like, this is your roommate. And I was like, huh?
Oh,
I was like, what? They're like, yeah, this is the kid you have to live with for the next week and a half as you are sicker than anything you could ever possibly imagine. I
That
was like,
sounds
"Oh,
horrible.
Okay, got it.
who
Cool.
was the kid? Just like
I do not remember his name.
Really?
No
you spent a week
idea.
and a half with him.
I probably said like 3 words to the kid. It was
So like, how is
incredible.
so? Were you guys? You were in the same room. You said 3 words.
I
Wrong.
was like so sick, like
Okay.
sleeping all day,
Okay.
and he was also incredibly sick. And then we
Okay.
also had to like deal with classes and stuff. But
Oh,
I would
wow.
say like
That
the worst
sucks.
week
They still made
ever.
you like deal with classes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Were you?
all-
Did you have to zoom in to all of
Mhm.
them?
Yeah.
That stinks.
Why did they make you do that? You
It was
obviously were
awful.
gonna not be paying attention because you were like sick to death almost.
Mhm.
That's the worst.
And especially in the beginning of COVID when, everybody was kind of figuring everything out. Like that's a really rough situation.
And then the food at the end was just awful. So,
what did they do? Did they bring you food every day?
So you would fill out a little Google form
Oh.
for your food that you want, and then they would
Fancy.
deliver it like 2 hours later when it was incredibly cold, soggy, and
Yep.
Nice.
basically inedible. So typical Villanova dining. Dom, let's go to you with our Twitter poll question of the day.
Yeah, so make sure to follow us on Twitter at WXVU. We have a good Twitter poll every Friday morning for the show. Today, good one. How many hours of sleep do you get on an average night? 8 or more hours, 7 to 8 hours, 5 to 7, or less than 5. Most adults need 7 to 9 hours, although some people may need as few as 6 hours or as many as 10 hours of sleep each day. Looking at the results now, it's overwhelmingly for 7 to 8. We have 5 votes, 4 for 7 to 8, 1 to 5 to 7. I think I'm in that 5 to 7 range. I think during the week 5 to 7, but on the weekends I try to get a little more.
Last night, I was definitely in the 5 to 7 range because, got to be up kind of early for this joy. But typically, I feel like I'm in the 7 to 8 hours range. It is a joy, but when I'm up at 6:30, I'm like, this is awful. Why am I doing this to myself? But yeah, David, like, how are we feeling about sleep here?
I would put 7 to 8. That's my
Okay,
answer.
okay.
Last night was not 7 to 8. Last night was 5 to 7.
Mhm.
But usually I think the average with the weekends combined, I would say about 7 to 8 hours. If you're getting 8 or more, very lucky.
Yeah.
Very
Nobody's getting 8 or more.
You're not in
hours.
college if you're
like
getting 8 or
children,
more.
like
True.
small children who go to bed
Yeah,
at 9
small
p.m.
children.
are getting 8 or more hours.
Allison,
Old people.
how are we feeling about the sleep?
I'm with Dom in 5 to 7, I think.
Yeah, 100%. David, what's going on with the birthdays this
We have some
weekend?
excellent birthdays
Oh, I
today.
love to hear it.
Today, February 3rd, Elmo turns 3 and a half. Elmo's birthday is celebrated on February 3rd every year. The day was first celebrated by Sesame Street, who has since described Elmo as being 3.5 years old today and every day from his first appearance on the show in 1980. Sean Kingston turns 33. On Saturday, former pro boxer Oscar De La Hoya turns 50. Comedian Hannibal Buress, I believe I'm saying that right, turns 40. Lauren Ash, or Superstore nickname. Do we know if that's a nickname or show?
Superstore, not show.
I would say
Great nickname,
turns 40. On Sunday, Bobby Brown, singer and former husband of Whitney Houston, turns 54. Tyler Farr, a guy walks into a bar, 39. And soccer star
That one is a nickname.
Ronaldo turns 38.
Ronaldo's 38?
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was a little older. Like, I expected him to be in his low
34,
30s. Yeah, if I had to
Yeah.
take a guess, I wasn't aware that he was 38. I wouldn't say that's old. I would just say that it's older than I.
Emil being 3.5
Would've guessed.
for 40 years is hilarious.
Amazing, really
Yeah,
amazing.
it's funny.
Yeah.
Allison, what's going on with WXVU here?
Yes, lots of things. So, first, our podcast where we interview people who have podcasts, simply titled So You Have a Podcast, continues with a just released episode where Ryan Derry interviewed Chris Wade, who co hosts the Hell of Presidents and Hell on Earth podcasts. The interview is available on WXVU's podcast feed, wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, this is insane. WXVU's website, WXVU.org, had 179,585 page views in the month of January. This is our biggest month yet. Stop by and view posts from our team, including a piece that Ryan and I wrote covering Adam Friedland's Philly comedy show and our own David's coverage of Villanova sports. And finally, Villanova Student Media is now on Instagram. For the latest from all of Villanova's media offerings, including the Villanovan, VTV, and of course, the undisputed king of Villanova media, WXVU, it's at Villanova Student Media.
Thank you, Allison. We're going to be taking a quick break on the Morning Roar right here on WXVU 89.1 FM. Stay tuned.
This is Father Peter, and you're listening to V89.1 The Roar.
The Berwyn Indoor and Outdoor Vintage Flea Market features antiques, collectibles, vintage jewelry, fashion, and so much more. The flea market happens every Saturday and Sunday through April, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Berwyn Indoor and Outdoor Village Flea Market is located at 270 West Swedesford Road in Berwyn. More information is available at philafleamarkets.org.
Have a voice for radio? Need to get your hands on audio-video gear? Does journalism or writing interest you? How about photography and capturing memories? Villanova's media organizations are open to all majors and include WXVU 89.1, VTV, Tech Crew, the Villanovan, and the Bel Air Yearbook. Come hang out with an awesome group of creative students and find your home in Villanova's media programs. Stop by Doherty 102 to learn more. Brought to you by the Office of Student Involvement, Student Media Programs.
We hope you enjoyed that intro music of the Pennsylvania Polka from the movie Groundhog Day. And we're back with the Morning Roar right here on WXVU 89.1 FM. The Roar. Let's take it to David with our 3-day weather forecast for the main line.
Now, our weather guy, Nick, is a little bit, under the weather, so I'm not going to do it nearly as good as he does it, but I can try. Partly cloudy today. Quite chilly and breezy, a high of 27. Clear tonight, a low down to 11 degrees. A sunny Saturday, a high of just 27, though. But luckily on Sunday, we're back up to 47 with partly cloudy skies, and we could even reach 60 by the middle of next week. And the current temperature outside Doherty Hall and our studios here on the Villanova campus, we're getting a redirect notice. Probably should have clicked it before, but it is 29 degrees right now outside of our Villanova studios.
Thank you, David. Let's go to Allison with our Morning Roar news update.
Yes, bringing you some more stories this morning. First, Radnor School District plans to build a new elementary school on the site of Ithan Elementary School along Clyde Road. The 60-year-old school has 470 students in kindergarten through 5th grade. The new school is expected to be constructed next to the existing school. The target completion date is the fall of 2027. A report on the current condition of the school shows problems with the roof and ceilings. And in other news, a new range of garish clothes claims to hide you from surveillance cameras. The knitted garments, and they are garish, use high-tech derived patterns to fool AI into thinking the wearer is an animal. Italian fashion tech startup Cape_Able describes their line as a wearable algorithm to protect our identity. It uses a technological system capable of transporting images into a knitted fabric that can be used to deceive so-called people detectors in real time. Wearing an item in which one of the images is woven can protect the biometric data of a person's face, making the individual indetectable or causing them to be associated with an incorrect category such as a dog, zebra, or giraffe. The garments are on sale, priced at $311 for a t-shirt, sweaters for $450, and bottoms for $300. I feel like I don't have to ask, but anyone in?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this whole business is geared towards criminals or people about to rob a bank. I mean, what other
What else
reason
would it be for?
would you need to wear clothes that hide
Nope.
your face from cameras?
There's only
and
one reason, and
there's-
it's thieving.
It's thieving.
Now,
Yeah.
where do these rank, right? So we've had some great products here on the Morning Roar, some great products. Where do these rank? Like when you're thinking about like buying those shoes to make you go 10 miles per hour, not as fast as the electric scooters as Chris said on campus.
No.
And then you have these, like where do they, like we have to start developing some rankings.
You guys also got to see them because they are ugly.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I'm
Let's
clicking the
click
link
on the
real
website.
quick.
They look really terrible.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
can
they're
see them from
terrible.
Allison's
They're
computer.
so hideous. Oh yeah, let me
Yeah.
turn
Oh
this
my
over to
God.
you. Look at them.
Wow.
They look awful.
Nah, this is just a prank.
And
People look stupid.
yeah,
And
they
what
do
I
look
love is
stupid.
the price. Like the price is $311.
Prices only criminals can afford right now
Yeah.
in today's
True,
economy.
true,
okay?
true. But it's so specific, like $311. I don't know. I found that kind of
Zebra
funny.
confidence 49%.
I-
What is this?
I would much rather have the shoes that make me walk 5 miles
Oh,
an
yeah,
hour around
absolutely.
campus. I might look like a fool, but I'm gonna look
I mean,
like a
you're like
bigger
even
fool
more
if I'm wearing
these. Oh yeah,
this.
definitely.
Protect my face from the security cameras while I rob somewhere.
And I
you
love
know.
the ad on the website. They have this crazy ad with like surveillance cam footage, and they're like, "Big Brother is watching you." It's like, come
oh my
on,
God.
come
Their website is like
on.
severely in depth, though. Like I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be like just maybe like 1 or 2 pages, but it's like in depth.
Mhm.
So obviously, some people are spending money on
Yeah.
these.
Must be
Definitely. Dining services update here. Last fall, we had a grasshopper gate in Cannes and general dissatisfaction, to put it mildly, with some of the offerings from Villanova's dining services. Well, a new semester is a time to start fresh, and the early returns have been positive. Some of the additions per the Villanovan: warm dishes, stainless steel silverware, hard plastic cups for drinks. The food is largely the same, but some whispers, including about the pit, have hinted at improved selection and quality. Cafe Nova has implemented more self-service options such as the Villa Dolce Gelato. Do you miss the takeout containers, and are things looking up for VU food? I'm going to go first here. I don't miss the
contrast to his
takeout-
statements earlier.
No, I'm sticking with my statements earlier. And the takeout containers I don't miss because they're still used 90% of the time.
They are
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, like sometimes I walk into St. Mary's and like, here's a nice plate, here's your nice silverware. But the other 90% of the time, I'm like, yeah, just give me my to-go box and I'll get out of here. And I don't really think things are looking up for VU food. I've seen zero difference whatsoever. I don't know about you
I
guys.
disagree.
Really,
I think the food's a lot better.
really.
At least in Pitt.
I
Do you eat at Pitt ever?
eat at Pitt like once a year, maybe.
Yeah, no. Pitt's definitely better. They had like Pitt at the beginning of the year, like there was like 2 stations open. They have like basically everything except for like 1 now.
Okay.
So
okay.
there's maybe just more options now.
Yeah.
And the like actual dishes and silverware makes me feel better.
Yeah.
But I do think they're improving a lot. And the Cafe Nova is undisputedly the best food on campus.
Oh yeah.
And they've added
100%.
more pizzas. There's now buffalo chicken and something else. I forget.
Oh.
It's good. It's good.
I think I just have to stop only
the gelato.
eating at St. Mary's then. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's my
Kova's
problem.
good. Kova's good food.
No, I love eating at Kova too. Yeah, David.
Bussin' boxes.
So this is kind of like a flex that I'm going to try to use for the rest of my
Do it.
4 years here, is that I have not eaten at a dining hall. Well, I did, during orientation, but because I had to. Since orientation, I have not eaten at a dining hall. Only Kova, Bel Air Terrace.
That's impressive.
So as a commuter student, I have only had the takeout containers. I have not experienced the warm plates. I will say, though, I have seen the selection of food, as Dom was talking about, I think has gotten better. The
Okay.
gelato, the hummus I saw on Instagram, so
Yeah.
that was cool. However, the warm dishes, the stainless steel silverware, and the hard plastic cups for drinks. Now, I have not experienced this, but as just a consumer, this doesn't necessarily make me feel all that great because I feel like those 3 things should have already been in place. So
They were. They took them
were,
away for
but
COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So that makes sense. It's a return. So in terms of the food options, though, I think it has gotten better. Do I think the food is any better? I don't think so, but there's more options. So I would say that's a positive in
Yeah.
terms of Villanova dining services.
Allison, you've been here the longest. What are your opinions here?
I mean, I don't eat much from the dining halls anymore now that I have an apartment. I do mostly cook, which is really nice. But when I do frequent the dining halls, it seems like it's been maybe marginally better. So good job,
I
Villanova.
loved Spit. Spit was the best.
Spit was
Spit
pretty good
was the
freshman year.
best.
Yeah.
Spit was the best.
and St. Mary's lunch, like you just can't beat it. They make
I don't think I've ever been to
pizza,
St. Mary's.
like
for
fresh
food,
made burgers,
I didn't even know that.
cheese
I know
steaks.
St.
Oh
Mary's.
yeah.
Second story, like late night's good. I know that.
Oh yeah.
I've been there for
100%.
late
Have you
night.
guys all eaten at the law school before?
Yeah, like once.
Really?
But because it's weird, it's only certain hours, right? Where here's
Yeah,
your meal
you-
plan.
because they don't want
They don't want-
undergrads in the
yeah.
place, but they have pretty
It's
good, food too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
What about Bartley? How's Bartley? I've never had Bartley.
I'm
Exchange.
scared of the exchange.
Yeah, you're scared of the exchange.
I'm
Why?
scared of the exchange.
I mean, I've been
It's
like I've gotten
intense
a
down
drink
there.
before, but I've
It's
never gotten the
intense.
food. Okay, it's intense. Okay.
I think I've had a sandwich from there one time, and it was pretty good.
Okay.
But you can't. I don't think you can use your meal plan unless
I
you
don't have a meal
an
plan. I just have
yeah,
the
you need
box.
like the upgrade.
You need
I
the
think.
Yeah.
exchange upgrade.
Exchange
Yeah.
upgrade.
Okay.
That's why I'm scared.
Now, Dom, why is the exchange so
It's
intense?
threatening.
It's
to Dom.
intense. No, it's just that bottom floor of Barley is
Yeah.
intense.
No, I
Everything's
agree.
going on. The holy grounds.
Yup.
There's like people like. It literally feels like you're on like Wall Street. Like down
I
there.
love
It's
the
like-
way it
it's-
looks, though.
Yeah, no, it
I
looks
love
great.
the way it looks.
And they just
I do.
redid
It's
that
really
bottom
nice.
part over the summer.
Yeah.
But it's intense
No,
down there.
it is
It's like
intense
people are
down there.
flying.
I've had professors literally say in class that they are afraid of walking through the exchange.
Probably,
Yeah.
I was probably if I was a professor, that would
Yeah.
be me.
Mhm.
It's scary.
It is scary. All right. It is time for the Morning Roar Mind Bender.
Take a break time, Chris.
Indeed, it is. So, Dom, you've actually lost rights to this part. I'm hosting
I
it
had like
now.
2 segments. I lost one. of them.
Done. It's now officially David versus Dom. Each participant can use Chris as a lifeline once, who may or may not know the answer. So here it is, the mind bender of the week. You have an 11-minute hourglass and a 7-minute hourglass. You need to measure exactly 15 minutes for boiling an egg. How do you do it?
David said he knows it. I have no idea.
I think I have an idea. Is it right? Probably not. So my guess, if I had to take a guess,
Okay.
but I don't know if this like can actually happen. It's like one of those things on TikTok where you like pull the thing under the water and have to get around. Anyway, so I would say that you leave. You've never seen that before, where where like they for $100, like somebody says, yeah, you have to pull like the rag like on the other side of the faucet without the water touching it.
Oh,
The water's
yeah.
like-
Oh,
you've
I
seen
know
that?
what you're talking about.
Maybe I was doing a poor job at explaining that. But anyway, so I would say that you keep the 11-minute hourglass at 0, and you run the 7-minute hourglass for 3 minutes, and then you start. Once that's done, you start the 11-minute timer, and the rest of the 4 minutes goes. That's
Hang
How
on.
do you
How do
know?
you
How do
know
you
it's
measure
3
3
minutes?
minutes?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, there has to be a
answer is
mathematical-
wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
not happening.
There has to be a mathematical answer to this.
I think
I don't
there
know it.
is.
But it exists.
It does exist. I can confirm.
It's got to be because no, I don't know. I don't know.
And
Chris,
there
I
is-
will use my lifeline. I'm calling my lifeline.
So, if both of you can use me as a lifeline, do I have to like
That's what I
whisper to
said.
you? Like,
I think we just both lose. I think Dom and I.
no,
both get the loss.
We can get it.
No,
we can
because
get. We have 4 minutes for our next
Okay, well,
segment.
I don't think
what
you've
is
given-
the lifeline? Is it a hint? Is it
hint.
the
It
answer?
can't be the answer.
Do
It
you
has to
know
be
the
a hint.
answer?
I am getting there, and I think I know like the intermediate step.
Okay.
So I'll
That's-
give
At
you
this
that.
point, this is going to be everybody versus Allison. Allison's the only one that knows.
So I'm pretty sure that you have to use the 11-minute and 7-minute at the same time. And when the 7-minute completely runs out, you have 4 minutes left in that 11-minute hourglass.
Oh,
So
he's
then you
right.
need to like stop it there and then add that to the 11-minute. Now, I don't know how to do that. That's up for you guys to figure out,
Wait,
but that
I
is
think
my
he's
hint.
right. So if you use them for
Wait, so
11.
can you say what you're
do
saying
that
again?
twice. You do that twice.
So you
that
let the
gets you
7
15.
run out.
You let the 7 run out, and when the 7 runs out, you know you have exactly 4 minutes left in the 11-minute hourglass.
That's correct. That is one of the
Okay.
steps that you need to do.
And then wait, because then you have to do that twice. Because then another 4 minutes will be 15.
No, another 4 minutes would be 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Not when the 11.
So then you would do
done,
the
though.
7, right? Can you do the 7 again? If you have 8, if you do that twice,
I don't know.
you have 8, and then you can do the 7 again.
8
Yeah,
plus
that sounds
7.
right.
8 plus 7 is not 15. Wait,
Yes, it is.
It is.
8 plus 7 is 15.
But how are you going to
how
do
are
the
you doing
fourth
it
thing
twice?
Right? Because this
Yeah,
has to
'cause
be
then the
in
11 has to
succession.
turn over.
All right, Dom and I both lose. Let's get to the answer, Allison.
Fantastic. Okay. So the easiest way to do it is to set off the 11-minute hourglass and the 7-minute hourglass at the same time. When the 7-minute hourglass finishes, you place the egg in the boiling water and let it go for 4 minutes. Then you simply just turn the 11-minute hourglass over again and let it run through, and then you've
I
got
got
15
there. I
minutes.
feel like I could have got there.
Yeah.
You guys were really close.
I feel like I could have got there.
I
You
feel
guys
like
were
they
making
weren't
it
that
too
close.
As for
complicated.
Elmo being 3.5,
That
as
close
for
in
Elmo
the
being
slightest.
3.5, Dom and I get a half point.
Yes.
Yes,
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think Chris
Elmo's
maybe.
birthday.
If anyone gets a half point, it's Chris, who figured out at least the mechanism.
According
that
to
you need
Elmo's
use.
birthday at Sesame Street Mathematics, we should get a half a point.
Well, neither David nor Dom got this one right. They are still tied at 1-1. And I guess I'm just a lifeline now. So I'm going to give myself half a point. Like I've been relegated from this segment too, Dom. It's okay.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break on the Morning Roar right here on WXVU 89.1 FM. Stay tuned.
Hi, Villanova. I'm Allison,
And I'm Ryan.
and we're the hosts of Please Tune In, only on V89.1 The Roar. Did you know? According to Thrive 365, 1 in 2 sexually active people will contract an STI by 25.
Did you know?
That 20 million new STIs occur each year. Did you know? Half of these are among people ages 15 to 24. Did you know? Many STIs have no symptoms at all, and the only way to know if you have an STI is to get tested.
Did you know?
That confidential testing for sexually transmitted infections, including HIV, is available to students at the Villanova Student Health Center. Call 610-519-4070. That's 610-519-4070. Or email studenthealthcenter@villanova.edu. Again, that's studenthealthcenter@villanova.edu. If your results come back positive, don't be afraid. Take action. Management and treatment of STIs can keep everyone safe. Knowing your status can bring you peace of mind, promote healthy relationships, as well as mental and emotional health. Stay in the know with Nova Nurses. This message was brought to you by senior nursing students in the health promotion course of the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing, the Office of Health Promotion, and V89.1 WXVU Villanova Radio. Radnor's Willows Park Preserve presents Love and Chocolate at the Willows, Sunday, February 12th between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Featuring hot chocolate, Valentine's making, and kids' crafts. This is a free event. Children can enjoy a special Why I Love the Willows contest. There will be photo ops in the balloon room, juice and cookies, and coffee or tea for adults too. The Willows Park is located at 490 Darby Paoli Road in Radnor. Visit willowsparkpreserve.org for more information.
Good morning, and we're back with the Morning Roar right here on WXVU 89.1 FM, The Roar, and we are celebrating Black History Month. And first, we like to take a look back at Villanova's 16th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. We're honored to have in studio with us Rachel Batista. Rachel was this year's president of the MLK Day of Service Planning Committee. Rachel is a senior psychology major and an ambassador with the Office of Intercultural Affairs. She'll also be talking to us about some of the events happening for Black History Month here on campus. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, Rachel, can you give us some background on what exactly the MLK Day of Service is here at Villanova?
Well, it's a day on and not off. That's like a slogan or something that we go by. It's basically a day where we don't have classes because it's the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr., but also we go to different sites and we do service with them, and that's what we basically do. But the planning committee was reaching out to sites and trying our best to become a normal day of service again because of COVID. The past 2 years, it hasn't been like this since 2020.
And building off of that, how different was it this year actually being able to visit off-campus sites for service opportunities for the first time since COVID?
It was really different because also the committee's brand new in a way, because in 2020 it was many of the seniors graduated last year. So it was rebranding in a way of all the people, and different freshmen were also there. So it was different in the sense that also the service sites were experiencing an in-person service, not donations or any goodie bags being sent to them. So it was different in that way, and something to get used to, and also being aware COVID restrictions, maybe we weren't going to be able to send some people because last minute cancellations. But it was really well for it to be back in person again.
That's great. It's great to see so many different service opportunities starting to get back to normal this year since COVID. What are some of the partners off campus the Day of Service worked with this year?
So it was a lot of religious churches basically, and schools, a music school. It was basically that. But on campus we also had charity. We had people 300 people do blankets for people, cutting it up in a way where it was creative, and also letters for the elderly, and also goodie bags for essentials that many sites wanted, soap and hand washes and stuff like that. So we had 200 people go off campus, but it was a variety of cleaning, painting, helping children, helping residents at a home, and things like that.
That sounds fantastic. So you already just kind of alluded to this, but MLK Day landed right before the start of the semester this year. What kind of response did you see from students in terms of coming in early to help?
We were impressed because we also expected some people to not show up because it was the day before and probably came on Sunday and they were tired. So we were trying to take that into perspective. If we didn't see, for example, many people come to sign in, thankfully we were prepared, but we did see for example, if a site had 20 people who signed up, 15, because it was expected, but thankfully, since we expected that, we were prepared. But thankfully, we weren't expecting everybody to come. But we did see how it being the day before class had an effect.
Now, Rachel, can you reflect on your journey to becoming involved with the Office of Intercultural Affairs and eventually president of the MLK Day of Service Planning Committee?
Well, I was a sophomore when I joined, and I was really nervous, but I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't that nerve wracking because it was during COVID times. So I
Mhm.
think that because it was during COVID times, I knew it wasn't like so heavy in the sense like, oh, we have to go off on campus. It was like more of like, how do we make this creative but still service? And my first 2 years, I was like the administrative assistant of the executive board, which meant like me joining like the board, like the president and the vice president, and learning more about the day of service and just trying to join in with any ideas. And I remember 2021, we didn't go, but we did virtual like sessions with schools, Philly schools, like North Philly schools, and we had like sessions on MLK and his legacy, and also fitness because we knew that in the time of COVID, many children weren't able to move around so many times because of them being in front of a screen, because of virtual. And then last year we made like donation bags to two service sites, the YMCA and the Ronald McDonald House, and that was really great. But then becoming president, I was like, I knew that we were going back to normal, so it was more nerve wracking than being like an assistant and trying to help at like whatever way I could. It was hard, but we got it done. I'm glad because of the help of the committee too. We're a team, but I think I'm happy for like the growth I've had these past 3 years. It was hard in the terms of like trying to figure out the best way to do service with COVID going on, but not as prominent as it had been the past 2 years. But it was a good journey, yeah.
Now, Rachel, you're a part of the Office of Intercultural Affairs, who have some wonderful events planned all February long for Black History Month. One of them is a discussion on what does it mean to be Black at Villanova, co-sponsored by the Office of Intercultural Affairs, and happening February 8th at 6 p.m. in the East Lounge of Dockery Hall. Would you be able to talk about that event or any of the other events happening this February across campus?
Well, that specific event is like a discussion space for first year students who identify as Black to share their experiences, especially in this Black History Month. And we also have like 4 other events. Like the 9th, OIA is collaborating with athletics to host a screening and discussion of the film The Loyola Project, 63 for 63, which is exciting. And also the 15th, OIA is collaborating with public safety for a coffee hour for all students, faculty, and staff who identify as Black. And also the 22nd, OIA is collaborating with Campus Ministry, ACV, and LASO to host What Does It Mean to Be Afro-Latina, a discussion space for all students who identify as Afro-Latina to share their experiences. And lastly, the 28th, OIA is hosting a virtual coffee hour for all students, faculty, and staff who identify as Black. We're trying our best to make great events this month. It's such a powerful and amazing month, so we're really excited to put on these events.
Definitely some great events coming up here over the next month. Rachel, as a senior, over your time here at Villanova, do you feel like there has been an improvement in terms of opportunities for events celebrating the Black community?
I think there have been my freshman year, I didn't see it. I think my freshman year was normal in the sense like March was when we were sent home, so I got to experience the normalcy, but I didn't see as many events for people of color, especially like events in Black History Month. There were some, but I'm happy to see that there's a long list of events that are going on this year. And even last year when COVID was still like dominating, I could see like there were virtual events, like discussions for spaces for people of color. So I have seen a growth in that sense, yeah.
That's great to see. And one last question for you here, Rachel. Are there any other events that OIA is involved with in the rest of the spring semester that you would like to put in a word for?
Well, on Fridays, I think we have like a remix type of thing where we have people or organizations reach out if they want to have any topic to be discussed. So there's like, I think that's something that I enjoy knowing about, that people can decide to request a space to talk about important issues. So I think that's something I'm looking forward to for the rest of the semester. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel, for joining us today.
Thank
We
you so
really
much.
appreciate it. And make sure you check out the Office of Intercultural Affairs for more events during this Black History Month. This is the Morning Roar right here on WXVU 89.1 FM. We're going to be taking a quick break, so stay tuned.
Hey everyone, this is Sam Briggs here, the creative assistant at WXVU, and you're listening to V89.1,
The Roar.
Villanova's Albert LePage Center for History in the Public Interest is featuring a presentation about the Rooted Project, coming from former lead researcher and current University of Maryland PhD student Angelina Lincoln, a 2020 Villanova history graduate, as well as current Villanova graduate student Colin McCrossan. They'll be joined by Rooted Project administrator and researcher Nolan Vari, who will share information about upcoming programming from the Rooted Project. The Rooted Project is Villanova's initiative to study its history and connections to slavery, segregation, racism, and gender and religious prejudice. In this presentation, Lincoln and McCrossan will share key findings from their research that the Rooted Project is using to produce a new history of Villanova that will give all students, faculty, staff, and alumni a sense of place and belonging. The presentation takes place Monday, February 6th at 6 p.m. Learn more about the Rooted Project at rootedproject.org. Learn more about the LePage Center at lepage.villanova.edu.
The Villanova Leadership Program provides 6 different workshops on leadership tips and tricks, theories, and networking. Get Villanova Leadership certified and become a better leader. More information is available at villanova.edu/VLP.
It's the Morning Roar right here on WXVU 89.1 FM. The Roar. Let's take it to David and Dom with our weekly sports roundup here.
Well, the Birds are in the bowl. It's a Philadelphia sports renaissance. So we'll talk about our early thoughts on the matchup. Dom, I'll get to you in a second, and Chris and Allison too. We won't redo the fight song until next week. So apparently we're redoing it next week, according to Nick, our producer. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, Jalen Hurts did a rendition of the fight song.
Yeah.
His was really bad. Yeah.
And I mean, ours was not great. But
No.
I mean, but I give
It was
him
not.
credit though for the effort to do that, because not many athletes will do that on stage, on TV, and sing the fight song with the crowd.
I don't
and
think he
lead
knew much of the
entire
words
crowd of
either.
70,000
I
people.
don't think he knew all the words.
I don't think he did either, but not many people do. Like, many people were getting mad at him for not saying "fight Eagles fight." And it's like no one says that.
Yeah, that's not
Okay.
true.
Anyway, Dom, thoughts on the Super Bowl? Of course, we'll dive into more next week, but kind of your early thoughts. Wrap up the 49ers game.
I'm excited. I think it'll be a really, really good game. It is kind of cool. I saw this the other day. First time in history, 2 black quarterbacks starting the Super Bowl during Black History Month. That's really, really cool. But I'm excited. It should be a really, really good game. I do think the Eagles are a better team, objectively. I think the Eagles have a significantly better defense than the Chiefs do. Offense, who knows? Patrick Mahomes is healthy. He's got that weird ankle. He can be a threat always, Patrick Mahomes. But I do think the Eagles should be really comfortable going into this one.
I agree. We'll talk about it next week, but I really think, as you said, I think they have the better overall team. Maybe they don't have the better quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. But I think Mahomes is on that number 1 different level. So what else too with that 49ers game? I was just surprised, like, towards the end of that game, how dirty the 49ers played in that game.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like they were angry.
They gave up, and they were selling out on getting Eagles players ejected. Eagles players, it seemed to be
ugly.
Hurt, maybe even in a way I don't want to accuse, but just say that it looked like that from a certain standpoint. So I was kind of surprised at the route that the 49ers took.
They were just angry.
And especially because Brock Purdy got hurt.
Yeah.
It wasn't a dirty play at all.
No, neither of them were. The other ones either.
Yeah,
I mean,
with Josh Johnson. It was just it was a football play. It wasn't. There was no harm intent.
It does stink though, because I do wish at least we had both of these games were just absolute blowouts, the Giants and the 49ers. So I am a little worried about that. This won't be a blowout.
I mean, it was an easy path to the Super Bowl for the Eagles.
Yeah. But you were the 1 seed.
Exactly. And you played well the entire season. And, people say, the schedule was easy. You look at their record against teams who were in the playoffs, and it's like 8-1 or something. 8-1 or 8-2, something like that.
Now,
so,
did you guys watch the Chiefs-Bengals game?
Great game.
I did. The Chiefs maybe should not have been in the Super Bowl. Because that late play, which is what you're alluding to.
Mm-hmm. But it's the right call. It sucks because the refs weren't really that good all game.
Mm-hmm.
But that you have to call that at the end.
Yeah, but here's the thing too: is I do think that was the right call.
Why don't we describe it real quick? What happened for everybody here?
Go Dom.
Yeah, so the Chiefs have, I think it was under 40 seconds left. They're at about the 50-yard line, maybe. Mahomes runs to his right, out of the pocket, past the line of scrimmage. It's going out of bounds. Clearly steps out of bounds, and then is pushed. Probably gains 8 yards, and then an additional 15 with the penalty. They hit him late. Very, very obvious. So 15, added on, put them right in field goal range. It was an easy field goal for the win. If they would have stopped him, I think the Chiefs maybe could have ran like one or two more plays.
Yeah.
It was a long field goal. I think they probably would have had to take like a 60-yard field goal if they didn't get that penalty. But they had to take like a.
And it was Joseph Osai who did that. But
yeah,
he had a great game. And going back to it too, like the Chiefs had so many extra opportunities in that game.
Oh yeah.
Like and then there was the play, I think it was in the third or fourth, where it was like 3rd and 9 and the Bengals stopped and the ref was running from the other side of the field to say the play didn't count. And and I agree with that, and the argument is, oh, well, what if some Chiefs players were not playing fully on that play? Well, you in the NFL this day and age, you have to make that clear that there is no play. You know what I mean? So I understand the Bengals there, and it wasn't a dirty play by Osai by any means. Like he was going full effort to try to get Mahomes down, but again, he was going more for the hit on Mahomes rather than to just get him down.
The protection of quarterbacks in this day and age is really
and Mahomes is of course going to get that.
He's going to get the most. Yeah.
So I mean, the Chiefs, an excellent team. Like some people are saying it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. The Chiefs are a really, really solid team. But, they have some injuries, and we'll see what happens with their wide receiver core. So,
absolutely. Now let's take a look at the Villanova weekend sports preview.
So is it time to stick a fork in the men's basketball team? Those are the words of our producer, Nick. The Cats are now 10-12 and are now ranked a lowly 7th in the Big East. They take on Creighton in Omaha Saturday night. Dom, Chris, Allison,
I didn't even know we had a men's team. I just know about our women's team. Our 17th.
There you go.
We're the 17th ranked women's team. Maddie Seagrass, best player in the country by far. She's the next great WNBA superstar. Our men's team, I could care less about. They stink. We're a women's basketball school. We always have them.
I just think it's so impressive how in our men's basketball games, it could be going great for the entire game. And then all of a sudden, those last 4 minutes,
they can't close out the game.
They're terrible closing out games. Like, cause even the Wells Fargo game I was watching, and they were up at I think they were up 8 with 6 minutes left or something. And then even Marquette, they were up.
Yeah. There is a noticeable difference between Villanova in the first half and the second half. And that is a huge problem.
It's
because
really
if you're just bad the entire game or you're just good the entire game, so be it. That was the game. That's what happened. But to be such a dramatic change, I mean, I know that coaching changes go in at halftime. The other team makes adjustments. But there is a note where you will sit down second half, even in the Marquette game, and in the last 4 minutes, you would say, am I watching the same basketball team?
Yeah.
And really question what's going on here, because it just seems like their smart plays go out of the way and they turn the ball over 19 times against Marquette. I mean, that just can't happen if you really want to win. I was shocked that they were in the game as much as they were, turning the ball over 19 times.
Yeah.
But they need to find a way to close out the game. And I've said it before, there's so much talent on this roster, but as each game and loss goes by, and I know that Kyle Neptune was talking about, it's a positive that they're in these games late. And I get that. I mean, you're in these games, but as Dom was saying, if you're not making improvements, and you say that every game, and each game, as we continue to go on, you're still losing those close games, well, then that really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's a loss, and you have 12 of them right now in the Big East, and you're only above Georgetown.
Yeah, their crunch time offense is terrible.
Yeah.
They can't get a bucket in crunch time. It's really bad.
But as you said, Dom, the women's team doing really good.
They're great.
I thought they were going to beat UConn. They had a good chance to beat UConn, who was
They're
fifth
going to beat
ranked.
UConn when they play them here.
They were beat 5th ranked. UConn close to beating them late. And they're also UConn is ranked 1st in the Big East. Villanova right behind them. So that game at the Finn, I believe it's at the Finn. Yeah, is going to be a really good game coming up here in the next couple weeks, I believe.
And that is a lottery game, so you got to make sure that you go into your app and sign up for those tickets, because typically for girls basketball games, that has not
it's
been
got to be
a
the first
thing.
lottery, I think, at my time here. Because the UConn game last year was canceled.
Yeah. And I think that just speaks to how much more entertaining the women's basketball team is right now than our men's team.
They're good.
Yeah. Allison, let's go to you with our music news.
All right. So, David, Ed Sheeran took to his Instagram with a new video explaining that he hasn't been very active on social media lately because he's had some turbulent things happening in his personal life. But he added, things are looking up and I'm back online. David has to give his thoughts here. Did he watch the vid? Is he concerned?
So I love the music playing in the background. Big smile on my face. Yes, Ed is back. I did watch the video. So Ed has always kind of been very quiet in terms of what he puts out. Yeah, I know personally.
They're on a Friday basis, yeah.
He always is very quiet with what he puts out on social media. But I know that recently he just came out with a new song, which I believe, it is titled F64. He lost one of his closest friends a little bit ago. So I think that was something that maybe was affecting him here, and probably something else going on. But yeah, he's back. His music is back. It's always great. Let's be honest. It's always great. Still working on getting those concert tickets. I've not made any progress. It's like it's on the bucket list, and I know that everybody's like, "Wow, he's a fake fan." You know what I mean? Not yet getting tickets.
No,
but I think just the amount of times that I talked about Ed Sheeran yesterday in my comm class. That went well. And then also, hold on, a fun fact here. For Spanish, intermediate Spanish 2, we have talk abroad sessions. Tom, you know what they are, right?
I hated those.
Yeah, well, you have talk abroad.
worst
And
nightmare.
you speak.
Wait, what are talk abroad
So you
sessions?
speak to somebody from a foreign country, a Spanish-speaking foreign country,
Oh.
and you have to talk about vocab, tenses, stuff like that. And it really does help. But the lady I was talking to, she was from Buenos Aires, and now my Spanish skills are not great. But from what I understood, we were talking about our favorite artist, and I brought up Ed Sheeran, and she said that she liked Ed Sheeran too. So Ed Sheeran all around the world,
Awesome.
growing popular, fantastic. So shout out to Buenos Aires here on this February 3rd.
Fantastico. Okay, we have more music news. So, Weezer is one of the acts participating in a Grammy tribute to the Beach Boys, a special that will tape February 8th at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood. Other artists influenced by the Beach Boys who are taking part: Beck, Brandi Carlile, Fall Out Boy, Lady A, John Legend, Charlie Puth, St. Vincent, Hanson, and more. No air date has been announced. And thank you to Nick for including some Weezer news. I feel very seen. The 65th annual Grammy Awards are on Sunday. Trevor Noah is hosting, and up for Album of the Year are ABBA, Harry Styles, Beyonce, Adele, Bad Bunny, Mary J. Blige, Brandi Carlile, Coldplay, Kendrick Lamar, and Lizzo. And we're following up our music news segment with a little music debate today. The top 5 best songs from the 1980s, according to a consultation with 9 expert websites, are the following. Number 1, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by the Eurythmics, Take On Me by Aha, Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, Africa by Toto, and Livin' on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. Anything glaring? What do we think of this list?
Take On Me should not be on this list.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's just a meme song. That's
The
the, only
music
reason.
video is really good though.
The music video is good, but like nobody legitimately enjoys Take On Me.
Nah,
I think you might be
think
right
you're
on that
right.
one.
I think
Yeah.
the other 4 on this list are significantly better than Take On Me.
Exactly.
I agree with
Africa and Living on a Prayer should be 1 and 2, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sweet Dreams is
Africa-
good.
In my opinion.
I love
I
Sweet
like
Dreams.
Sweet Dreams, but I like Africa and Living on a Prayer better, I think.
Yeah,
Sweet Child of Mine's so good too though. From like,
I honestly
Just-
don't
I always
think
think
I've
of
ever
Step Brothers
heard
scene.
Sweet Child of Mine.
you ever
you
seen
seen
Step
the-
Brothers?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, yeah. Have you seen the new Thor? Not Thor Ragnarok. Thor: Love and Thunder. David?
No.
No, never mind then. Yeah,
No.
because that was all Guns N' Roses music in that.
I mean, I know
too.
who Guns N' Roses are.
Yeah,
I have not listened to their music too often. Like, what is their most famous song? I mean, I know who
Sweet
they are.
Child
probably
Mine.
Sweet Child of
Okay,
Mine.
is there another one that's like famous that I might know? I mean, maybe I've heard it and I just don't realize it, which is probably
You
the
have.
case.
She's got. I'm not gonna sing.
No, I
Come
think you
on,
should sing it.
sing.
Dom.
Yes, God, reminds me of
I don't think. I mean, maybe I have, but that
childhood.
rendition, Dom, is similar to our
Just
Eagles
watch.
fight song.
Just watch. Yeah, seriously.
I'm kidding.
No, I mean,
I feel like Bon Jovi shouldn't even be on this list either.
no.
You don't like Living on a
No,
Prayer?
I love Bon Jovi, but way overrated, and everybody on the East Coast is like Bon Jovi's the best. It's like a
I'm
huge
surprised there's
New
no
Jersey
Journey
thing.
songs on here.
Journey should be on
There's
here.
so many.
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
artists from
true.
Right?
the 80s. Like, I'm looking at just like our biggest artists in the 80s, and it's like Michael Jackson,
Don't commit,
Whitney
Nick.
Houston.
Don't. Careful.
I'm being careful. Madonna, Journey, like Queen. There's a lot of stuff that
Yeah, no Queen songs might be.
Take On Me above Queen is criminal.
ridiculous. Yeah.
That is just not true in the
We're
slightest.
in trouble.
Look, I don't think Nick made the rankings. This is from a consultation with 9 expert
Okay,
websites.
okay.
He has sources, all right? You can't come at him right now.
All right, good. I'm not telling you.
Dom,
On to the movie segment, which
Yeah.
always goes well.
This is a good.
As well as the
Good.
Mind Bender.
This is a really good movie segment. Whoever puts these together, I don't know who it is, does a really, really good job. And I know both of these movies. 80 for Brady, PG-13 comedy, 4 lifelong friends and diehard Patriot fans make it a mission to go to the Super Bowl 51 and meet superstar quarterback Tom Brady no matter how much chaos they meet along the way. Jane Fonda, Sally Field, Rita Moreno, Lily Tomlin, plus the newly retired Tom
Why
Brady.
did we not talk about Tom Brady in the sports segment? How did I forget that?
Like, it's
Anyway.
old news. He's retired before.
he's
He's retired
It
again.
happened
movie.
365 days ago exactly.
He's
to the
now
day
a
of the other
movie
day.
star. Tom
Sure.
Brady retired on my birthday, by the way, which sucks.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I had to plug that.
There you
Second
go.
movie, Knock at the Cabin, our mystery thriller. While vacationing at a remote cabin, a young girl and her parents are taken hostage by strangers who demanded they make an unthinkable choice to avert the apocalypse. Jonathan Groff, Dave Bautista, Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley's in this movie?
Yep.
Director M. Night Shyamalan, Philly guy. I'm not gonna lie, I might see both of these.
You didn't read the please read
I,
at
yeah,
the top.
I
Where's
think
the
you
place?
There was a
need
note
to
for
read
you.
from the morning show
Yeah.
producer
I was
here,
scared
Dom.
to read it. I will read it
Oh,
now.
I thought this was just an internal
Well,
read.
it says please
No,
read.
no.
So
I thought it was internal read too.
We're being scolded over the air. So
Okay.
go ahead.
press
Press
release
release.
from Nick, our producer. Go ahead.
I'm greatly disappointed with the need to be educated on how a very simple segment operates. I fear this is a reflection on the quality of teaching you kids are receiving these days. It's a simple concept. We list the movies coming out this weekend at the box office. Not your favorite movie. Not your favorite movie.
I really don't think you were
no
supposed to
one
read this
cares
out
about
loud. I
from
think
2
he
months
meant
ago.
please read internally.
I
I'm doing it out
agree.
loud right now.
Okay, so
keep
Nick,
going.
I am the one who is not for reading this aloud, but go ahead.
Not your favorite movie, Lily. No one cares about from 2 months ago. You read them and discuss. Is everyone clear?
I'm clear. I'm definitely
I'm clear. It's
I'm
crystal
clear.
clear, but I'm
I'm
going to
clear.
give my commentary that the movies that we've been talking about in the
These-
past have been absolute garbage.
I think we'll blame the marketing of those past movies because I've seen ads
80
for
for
both of
Brady
these.
sounds good.
I'm going to be honest. It
Four old women
sounds
seeing
so
Tom-
cheesy.
It's about 4 old women going to see Tom Brady. You like that?
Well,
like that?
here's the thing. I don't watch
Dude, he's an Ed
movies a
Sheeran
whole
fan.
lot.
Like, what do you expect?
All right, well,
You're an old soul.
I don't watch movies often.
You
To
will
be
see 80 for
honest,
Brady.
like it either has to be a sports movie
80 for
or
Brady.
This is a
something
sports
that
movie.
I know, or something that like gets me compelled to watch.
Yeah.
80 for
And
Brady.
I don't know, like I just feel like that there could be interesting things that happen in this movie, 80 for Brady. So I'm not sure. And I do like comedy movies. Like either it has to be comedy or really serious, like tragedy. Like there's no in the middle for me. Like I don't
So Schindler's
watch-
List
no,
and
no, but I mean by tragedy is I don't like watching tragedy. It's just like I find it interesting. Like,
like
to
war,
learn
like war
historic-
movies.
No, I'm talking about like Scully. Did you see Scully? Like I liked watching Scully. Land the plane on the
That
Hudson
is
River.
Sully.
Oh, sorry, I said it wrong. I'm sorry. It won't be the first time on the show. Just gonna warn everybody. But won't be the last time. Yeah. So like, I like that movie because it was historic, and I like to learn about
Can
it.
I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
We're doing the exact thing.
This is our segment now.
Well, okay.
Everybody go see 80 for Brady and
Let's
not
move
the cabin.
And the next
Sorry.
movie that David will be seeing is, of course, Oppenheimer in theaters because he really loves tragedy.
loves-
movies.
no, loves nuclear bombs.
But I like to learn. I like to stay informed about history and historic events.
Yeah.
That
They have, like,
oftentimes
documentaries
are
for that, though.
tragedies. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like
You
a
don't have
movie
to watch like just
documentary.
depressing movies.
Yeah, no, I mean, also like, okay, I know Nick is gonna get so mad at me. One of my favorite movies when I was younger was Yogi Bear. I loved Yogi Bear. Anyway,
Yogi Bear, great movie.
Yeah.
Completely agree. David, what are the national
I am
days
so
of the week
sorry.
here?
So today is doggy date night. Scientists have consistently found that dogs provide social, physical, and emotion benefits for their owners and vice versa. Today, spend a little extra time with your dog. Play games like fetch or frisbee, or go on a nice long hike with the friend who is always there for you, your dog. Today is also the halfway point of winter. Celebration noises. In the northern
There you go.
hemisphere, thank you. Today is the exact halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. Many think the midpoint of winter is always Groundhog Day, but it varies. Winter is the shortest of the 4 seasons, which I don't necessarily agree with, lasting 88.99
That's
days.
just science.
I know.
Sorry, what is there not to
It doesn't,
agree with?
it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like it. And today is also Bubblegum Day. Now, here's some interesting ones. Tomorrow, as we get to Sunday, Sundays are very interesting. Anyway, tomorrow is Rosa Parks Day, honoring the Black civil rights activist known for refusing to give up her seat on a bus. Thank a Letter Carrier Day, your chance to say thanks to the person who delivers your junk mail. And tomorrow is also Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. Sunday is Weather Forecasters Day. And this one, which I was alluding to, is interesting. Shower with a Friend Day. Good luck, Chris, in the mock trial tournament this weekend.
Let's go.
Oh, thank you, David. Really
That was a great
appreciate it.
segue.
Yeah, awesome. But I kind of just want to return to Shower with a Friend Day.
I was trying to skip over that
go ahead.
very quickly.
No. We got to return to it. What? Why?
I
Why?
don't endorse showering with friends.
I think it's environmentally friendly. I think you're saving water, saving the fishes.
Maybe that's like
I think it's
the
weird.
context.
No, I think it is weird. No, I 100% agree.
It's actually a marketing ploy. So it was
Oh,
created to sell shower filters.
Oh, look at us playing right into their little game.
I know. We're talking
Wait, but
about
why
it,
would you
and
want to
they
buy a
win.
shower filter?
So that you and your friend can have a really nice shower together.
I don't.
Duh.
Why? Why is it
Okay.
a day? That's not a day.
I looked it up. It is a day.
Oh, no, it
It's
does
a day.
exist.
Why does
It
that
is a
exist?
day.
And let's go to our Twitter poll results recap.
Yeah.
Dom.
So it's actually been a shocking turn of events here. So again, follow us on Twitter at WXVU. Our question still remains the same. How many hours of sleep do you typically get on an average night? 8 or more hours, 0%. Less than 5 hours, 0%. But 7 to 8, still leading at 57%. 5 to 7 is making a run now at 43%. So 5 to 7 making a run. I think, again, we talked about it already. Most college students are in that 5 to 7 range.
100%. Now, just a quick reminder to give at Villanova Student Media a follow on Instagram. And last but certainly not least, it's time for our deep thought of the week. Be grateful to the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. This has been the Morning Roar on February 3rd. Thank you guys for another great show and have a great start to your weekend. We'll see you next week.
Villanova University's WXVU Villanova. Visit our all-new website at wxvu.org. We're on air serving the main line at 89.1 on your FM dial, or stream us anytime, anywhere on the Radio FX app.
The Villanova Tech Zone is a free resource for helping students, faculty, and staff troubleshoot their technological needs. Contact the Tech Zone at 610